So yeah, happy to be here, and I can't wait to give my opinions about what is coming in 2024 for all of us.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to hear more about you. And now we are going to introduce Lokman from Tunjay project.
Hi
So
there,
warm
and thanks for
welcome,
having
Lokman.
me. I'm Lokman, and we as Tunjai do educational and entertaining broadcasts here on Binance Live. And the team behind Tunjai is amazing. I'm glad to be here. Shout out to Tunjai, Taha, and Firit. They're the best. And special thanks to, of course, our community. Without them, nothing would be possible. And it's an honor to be nominated among the other creators for this award contest. And I'm very excited. Can't wait to talk more.
Yeah, our pleasure to have you here. And
Thanks.
last but not least, we have Baruni from Top Voice of Crypto.
Hello, everyone. Big shout out to Binance for having the three of us here. I am Baruni. I'm the editor in chief of Voice of Crypto. We are a news and multimedia platform. We specifically cover the Web3, blockchain, and crypto space. And this, of course, is a really exciting and interesting time to be in this space. And yeah, glad to share this stage with Andres, Lokman, and you, Sam. And of course, super excited to talk about all things crypto, Web3, and blockchain. This is something that I usually say when I start my episodes. We recently clocked the 60K mark on Binance. So big shout out to our Binance communities. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Yeah, our pleasure to have you here today. But before starting with the questions, I have to, as always, say a disclaimer, as all the content, all the information that is going to be here, it is just the opinion from our guests, but it doesn't represent the opinion of Binance, and it doesn't represent a financial advice. Okay, so please always do your own research and yeah, be responsible of your own decisions. So, okay, once this said, let's start with this roundtable where the topic of this roundtable is anticipating the industry landscape in 2024. That, yeah, we are sure, correct me if we are wrong, but this is going to be a super exciting year. It already started really hard, but yeah, looking forward to see more about it. So, yeah, starting with you, Andres, how do you forecast the state of the crypto industry in 2024 given the current trends?
Well, Sam, we had an amazing news yesterday with the ETF for BTC, what we were been waiting for the last few months, years. That changed a lot of the narrative for us in 2024, and also looking forward the halving of Bitcoin. I think so. At the end of the day, we have to keep just building. At the end of the day, it's a bear market, bull market. We have to carry on, but we're in a better space than we were 12 months ago, 18 months ago. The sentiment is more positive right now. We can see more developers, the community is getting more stronger right now. I'm just very excited about what is going to happen. I'm here also to learn, as you say, Sam. This is my opinion, but I've been 8 years in the industry. Everything can change any minute. We have to be always prepared to keep building, to keep creating content, to keep educating. At the end of the day, this is a brand new industry. It's totally new, but
Mhm.
I'm very optimistic that this year is going to be very positive for all of us that have been waiting and waiting for the last few months, for the last few years, for the market to correct.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights, Andres. And Baruni, what's your opinion regarding what can we expect in 2024?
I also side with Andres. I'm super optimistic, super bullish on the future of the sector, especially this year. We had quite a few macro events that, as an industry, we were looking forward to. The first one, of course, Bitcoin spot ETF, and it was filed 10 years ago. So, 1 decade of waiting, and we finally have it live. Super excited about that. It, of course, gives way to more adoption, more traditional finance institutions getting into crypto. And with this launch, of course, IRAs, 401ks, pension funds, and a lot of institutional players do have the accessibility to get into crypto, and this does pave the way for mass adoption. We always talk about bringing the first million onto projects, or the first few millions onto this space, and with the halving approaching as well, and the larger sentiment pivoting towards bullish. I wouldn't say we're hyper bullish, but the market definitely is green. I was just scrolling through and I saw that the top 100, all of them on the 24-hour chart were green. So I don't know what else a bull market is, if not this. So definitely optimistic about the future.
Okay, thank you. Logman, do you share same opinion as
Yeah,
Andres and Barony?
mostly the same. Yes, I feel like we've started going up a hill or a mountain, and we're going very fast on the way there, and it's like a rocket is strapped on our backs. So hopefully it will turn out good, but it seems like we're going up, as a community, as the crypto enthusiasts. So yeah, looking very optimistic. The ETFs and the Bitcoin halvings, yes, definitely it's gonna affect it positively.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, just to wrap up, I mean, for some of the most important events for this 2024, as far as we know as now, we had the Bitcoin ETF approved yesterday, and actually it is going to start being traded in 15 minutes. So, yeah, quite exciting about that after 10 years waiting for it. And also, we'll have the Bitcoin halving mid-April. So, for those who maybe don't know what's Bitcoin halving, okay, maybe you can go to Binance Academy. You will find plenty of articles about Bitcoin halving. Same as if you don't know what's ETF or what's Bitcoin ETF, you can find also all this information either on Binance Academy, but also if you go to Binance Square, I'm sure that many of our creators will be talking about that right now. So yeah, that being said, second question is in from the technological side, what technological advancements can we anticipate for 2024? Baruni, you don't mind? We can start with you.
Absolutely. In terms of tech, I am definitely expecting better and more advanced user experience, so better UX, UI for a lot of crypto projects. I think that's one space that we have struggled with for a long time, and that does sort of hinder mass adoption or usability. So that and more projects moving towards sustainability. We've already seen. There was, of course, a lot of debate around the Bitcoin narrative and mining not being sustainable, crypto industry as at large not being sustainable. But this year, I definitely see projects sort of embracing sustainability. Privacy and security have to be one norm, and I also see big mergers between top techs like blockchain, AI. We already saw those trends throughout this year. And yeah, RWAs, I think that's going to be, the industry is going to be big on that. Also hoping Metaverse and NFTs to sort of make a comeback this year, or at least the narrative for those two strengthening a little bit. I still don't see where we are going in terms of Metaverse as a concept, but I do see that getting a little bit clear throughout this year. And we have, of course, CBDCs that a lot of governments are rolling out. While you did say tech, I would also talk a little bit about regulations, because now with the ETF approval that we saw in US, I'm definitely expecting better regulations from from different global players. So here's hoping,
Yeah.
I guess.
We will cover that later on, as regulation is one of the key things in crypto to be like to get like the mass adoption. But yeah, we will cover that later on. So yeah, Logman, regarding technological advancements, what do you expect in 2024?
Yeah, like Varuni just said, I am expecting a lot of developments in the metaverse and NFT side. Yes, I think it might not be quote unquote dead, but it could definitely evolve. And yeah, I'm hoping to see some substantial, growth and innovation in asset ownership, hopefully, and metaverse integration, of course. But yeah, zero knowledge proofs. I'm looking to see some developments on there, because security in transactions without revealing all of the information is essential. So yeah, I'm looking to see some more improvements on that side. And of course, Ethereum rollups, they're expected to enhance the scalability and efficiency, potentially leading to maybe wider adoption of Ethereum-based applications. And I'm very excited for that.
Thank you. And Andres, any other technological advancements that can you consider different with Baruni
Yeah,
or Lockman?
yeah, I believe the for me more than technological advancement is we have to keep it simple. So why, for example, Binance became so big and successful in the industry because it keep the stuff simple. For example, with through P2P, there was a technology or way to deal with send and receive crypto over Binance, but it was simple. So I want to see more simple solutions, even is at technological advancements. For example, I want to see data privacy protocols coming on board, and also probably tools that help us between change interoperability will be easy if we have new products or services that help us or help the new user when they get on board to use the technology in an easier way. I'm looking for simple is better. I think so that will help the industry to bring more and more users. So yeah, there's a bunch of technology as well out there, like real world assets. So there's a lot of technology. But for me, if we have more protocols that make the life of the current user simple, but also it makes the adoption of crypto easier for people that don't understand crypto, that way I see the technological advancement. That's what I'm looking for: privacy,
Okay.
data, and interoperability between change.
Actually, from your point of view, which process could be like simplified, or which barrier we should do like uh, more simple in order to get more users into crypto?
Well, that's a good question. One thing is when you are new into crypto, setting a wallet, for example, Web3 is quite difficult. Web3 wallet, but I think Binance doing something really good with the Web3 wallet. So I would like to see more simple solution for Web3 wallets when somebody joins. Is when I start with MetaMask, for example, myself, it was quite challenging, even though I was 4 years already in the industry. One more thing is everybody knows, if you are on chain and you are sending or receiving payments for a company, and if everybody can see which wallet is yours, it like kind of deceives the privacy of your finance. Let's say if you're making payment from one wallet to your employees, everybody will know your finance. And in the future, it won't be good if you go and pay, for example, for a coffee, and everyone knows the wallet that you're paying for the coffee has 6, 7, 8 figures. So everybody would know your wealth. So there might be a solution to make this more private. And the other one where a lot of people have lost money is when they don't pay attention to the change. For example, if I'm sending somebody, my sister in Colombia, sending her USDT, and then she sent me the ERC20 wallet by sending by mistake using the TRC20 in a DEX, that money get lost. So there might be solution as well for that create interoperability between change, sending and receiving payments, so we don't lose this money. I think so that's also the controversy, always make it simple as well, but also you make it too simple, you have the risk that people get control of your assets. So we'll see what will happen. But yeah, I want more simple solutions for more adoption.
Okay, completely agreed on that. For sure, the data ownership and protection, and also like doing, as Baruni said, more UX, and facilitate the entry for new users. Okay, that this is gonna be key. And actually, Baruni and Logman, you were talking about NFTs and Metaverse. these were two narratives that during the previous bull run and during the last years, it has been a really big trend. But as far as now, they are not as trendy as before. So my question for you is how, I mean, what should implement into the metaverse and NFTs to become trendy again? What should they change?
I think, firstly, what Andres said, keep it simple. I think one barrier that sort of stands in the way of mass adoption or adoption really for these two asset classes is the accessibility, the usability. So, firstly, I think trading of NFTs has to be a lot simpler, and there have to be more players around it. There has to be more education around how to access these assets. Then, like I said, metaverse as a concept, we have. There's of course a lot of ground for retailers or retails or enterprises to cover when it comes to metaverse. I'm sure that businesses can incorporate metaverse into their shopping experiences or other such things. It's a few enterprises have dabbled with it. It hasn't really seen the light of the day or has been as successful as it would have been. But I definitely want to see more use cases around NFTs and metaverse, other than, of course, the gimmicky part of it. Even throughout last year, I think music and sports NFTs did pretty well, but the trading volumes were rather off. And this year, however, we are expecting that to change, but that has to tie in with the use cases around both of these assets. So I think if there are more use cases around it, other than, of course, the existing ones like ticketing, etc., that could create a wave of adoption.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Lukman?
Definitely agree with Varuni on the usability needs. I think we need a lot of improvements on that, but we also need a general overall redemption in all of the metaverses and NFTs. There's been, of course, disasters with the metaverse scene. There's a lot of metaverses out there, and some are doing it very nicely, and some are actually, like, I gotta be honest, they're horrible about it. But this gives the metaverse and the NFTs kind of like a bad name, and sometimes they're like, to new users especially, sometimes if they experience a couple of bad things with metaverses and NFTs, they just rule out all of them. So we need maybe some time to recover. We need some good projects and good examples to set the lead, and hopefully then things will turn out better for all of the metaverses and NFTs.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights. And let's move to the next question that actually is related with regulation. So the question is, how might blockchain and cryptocurrency regulation evolve in 2024, and how will it potentially impact the industry? So starting with you, Lokman, first of all, if you could share from which country you are and how crypto regulation is affecting the crypto industry over there.
Sure. I'm from Turkey. I don't follow every single country's regulations that closely, but Turkey is, I should say, it's struggling. It's getting there, yes, but it needs a lot of more work. It needs less strict, laws against it, and more controlled, supportive regulations for crypto in general. So hopefully, Turkey might continue to develop a regulatory framework to, balance innovation and also financial stability. And of course, there's a lot of issues, but I believe Turkey will experience a great deal of changes in 2024, regardless. Maybe positive, maybe negative, but hopefully positive. Let's hope it is a positive one. And yeah, for other countries, like England, I'm not that close with its news, but it could focus more on integrating crypto into already existing financial systems and ensure consumer protection. Yeah, but I'm not up to date on that one. UAE, I'm very
Yeah, no,
positive
no
on
worries.
UAE.
Actually, we have, for example, here Andres, that is, well, Andres, you can comment us. Where are you based and how regulation is affecting Yes.
Thank you, Sam. I was back in, I think so, May or June. I was in a conference and people were asking about regulation. I was in Germany, and I told everybody that I normally don't talk about regulation or compliance. I let the lawyers talk about this because I'm not an attorney or a regulator. But it's important to mention, from my individual point of view, just follow what people is doing in the industry and try to go to places where the industry is being supported, right? So that's why most of the content creators and companies of Web3 are in the UAE. So UAE has been supporting a lot Web3 and crypto and content creators for many years. So that's why you see so many people living in Dubai, and they left Europe or America, Australia, and that's why everybody moved there. I'm an international guy. I'm from Colombia. In Colombia, for example, very great the compliance and regulations. Yet I live also a long time in Europe, in the UK. It's been very strict. So regulation at the end of the day, we need it to make the industry safer, but also when it's too regulated, it cuts innovation. And that's why some countries lose not only revenue from the business, but also they lose talent from the corporate side. You know, people that have so much knowledge about X or Y industry, they leave that country to move to a country to join a company that is being very good at what they're doing in crypto, but also talent of content creators or traders. So I believe people need to adapt, and especially in crypto, we are here to keep adapting to the situation, to the market. That what we're here is a very high volatile industry. If you want to get too regulated and you stay in the country where you think is the best, but if you want to live for innovation, move to a country that they are making progress. They are probably more proactive of innovation, and just take it from there. Like for example, UAE. So that would be my opinion regarding regulation. But if you want to make it properly, ask to a lawyer or attorney. I think that would be the best advice.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your insights, Andres. Finally, Baroni, from your from your point of view, how is regulation affecting you?
I'm based out of India, and it is essentially the Wild West when it comes to investing or when it comes to investor protection. So there was a bill that was the cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency that was introduced in 2021. That was the first time that the government ever spoke about or addressed digital assets. So since then, we sort of got a glimpse of the government not embracing, but at least addressing or acknowledging the existence of this industry. So that was a big leap. However, as people in the industry, as stakeholders, we get the concern that the government has, of course, with the population as big. They have to protect investors, they have to protect people who might be entering this space. Andres mentioned it's a highly volatile space, and you have to be, of course, rather careful. But there have to be clearer rules and regulations, which I feel in this country at the point are missing. There's, of course, a 1% tax deducted at source for any sort of cryptocurrencies that you handle it. And then there's a 30% tax on all kinds of profits that you make off of digital assets here in the country. So, not entirely conducive for either trading, investing, or from an enterprise point of view, which is exactly why a lot of people move from India to, I think, the next best, closest place is the UAE. That has led to a lot of talent migration from here to there. It, of course, affects the economy as well. So I feel that clearer regulations in 2024 is something that we are expecting from the government. One thing that I feel lacks is more stakeholders as decision makers in government bodies. Now, this is happening a lot in Europe. I was recently in a session where there was a person in my session as well who was appointed in the for, I think, the stable coins that are being made in Europe. So that is not the case in India. However, we have the same old politicians sitting on those panels discussing or debating around what the future of digital assets is. And my problem, being a stakeholder in
Mhm.
this space, is you need to have more people who are aware of the technology, are aware of the future, or of the current scenario of this industry. So I think that should be the first step that the government should
Mhm.
ideally take towards sort of bettering the narrative or understanding better how the sector itself works. So yeah, but definitely being a little bit optimistic now that we're seeing clearer regulations or are expecting clearer regulations from US. Of course, the US market has been a leader, we can say, in terms of regulations across the globe. So we are expecting a little bit of clearer regulations, but at this time there are high trading volumes from the country, but there are essentially no regulations around it. So it is a little unfavorable and also risky, but it doesn't stop it doesn't stop the masses. People are still
Yeah.
trading, investing, and finding their way.
Yeah, one thing is clear, and yeah, it is the case for most of industries as technology goes first and regulation goes after. So yeah, regulation now is in the crypto industry is yeah, doing the correct steps, but yeah, it's not that as fast as technology. But yeah, I mean, from Binance, we as we always made, we will try to be as compliant as possible, and yeah, be always like forefront of regulation in all countries, because this is something that it is really dependent on which country you are. The regulation is completely different. For example, now in Europe we have MiCA, but the US regulation is completely different. From South America countries, each one has their own regulation. Same for South Asia countries, for China, for Turkey. So yeah, this is pretty complex, but yeah, as we are not attorneys, we are not going too deep that much into regulation. And let's move to new use cases for blockchain. This is something that we have been seeing during this last year with ordinals, for example, that 2 years ago it didn't exist. This is something that appeared this last year. And now, for example, we are seeing like new narratives as gamify, AI, real world assets, as Andres said. So, yeah, Andres, you were talking about innovation. So, what kind of innovation and new use cases do you see in blockchain and in crypto industry this year?
Well, there's the thing with blockchain is such a broad topic to talk about how it can be implemented, either, for example, in logistics or in real estate or in medicine. Or there's so much application right now. But I'm going back to what I said at the beginning. Just keep it simple, right? So I think so. Something that I have witnessed recently is everybody start to talk more about real world assets. People talking a lot about this. Probably the last 6 months, I've seen a lot of projects start to get this together, especially with crypto enthusiasts or people that are part of communities of DAOs or NFTs. I've seen also people that are putting together not only, let's say, real estate, formal real estate to build and just to rent apartments or flats, if not also of experience. People putting together, um, let's say, exotic location where people can go and be part of, I don't know, let's say in Tulum, Zanzibar, Marbella, or whatever. People buy some of the real world assets, tokenize it, and they're part of a community as well. This happened before in Web 2. Some people, for example, in Europe, they pay a subscription a year and they can go and just travel around the world and stay in houses if they're part of the community. So I think so that will happen, and it's happening right now with Web3, real world assets for communities, but it will scale up more with the zero real estate industry. I think so. At the end of the day, people, we are in crypto because we love the technology, but everybody wants to accumulate wealth. And I think so the most traditional wealth industry is real estate. So I'm paying attention a lot for real estate across the globe. And I think so we will have more advancement of these real world assets this year and next year. So pay attention to that. I'm very bullish on this technology. And let's see, I haven't paid more attention to more advancements. So that will be my opinion about what's happening with blockchain. You are mute,
You're
Sam. Yeah.
Sorry. Here we have Andres pretty bullish with the real world asset tokenization. For sure, this is going to be a narrative that it is going to be quite trendy this 2024, especially with real estate. This is some application that we have been seeing. There's like many projects already doing it, but yeah, let's see how this evolved this year. So, Logman, what's your the use case that you would like
Yeah.
to highlight for this 2024?
On the real estate sense, I think real world assets are going to become more and more integrated with blockchain, like Andres said. And maybe even art, who knows? The things will be interchangeable. They will have a certain value, fixed value, hopefully. And although I'm not a mastermind, I can't really think of new use cases. I'm confident that in GameFi we'll hopefully see more elaborated economies that is both transparent and also more complex. And in AI and blockchain, I can safely say it's going to enhance data analysis, maybe some new stuff on that sense, more in-depth analysis, smarter contracts, security, improved security on the AI and blockchain. Yeah, we're gonna see new developments, but of course, I can't think of one on the spot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. And yeah, Baroni.
I think definitely real world asset tokenization that Andres very beautifully has summed up almost everything about. I think stable coins, I expect to see a lot more stable coins throughout 2024. I already spoke about CBDCs. A lot of governments already have their pilot released. China, one of the top most populated countries, one of the biggest economies also, I think last year during the Olympics, they already launched their pilot. India is already working on the Indian rupee, and there are a few other countries who are actively working on CBDCs. So I think that is going to be one trend that I see strengthening throughout 2024. Then there's blockchain as a service, which is BaaS. I think that this would simplify the process of developing blockchain applications, and it also sort of eliminates the need to manage blockchain infrastructure. So I'm interested to see how that unfolds and how enterprises will sort of embrace that. And of course, I do anticipate more increased enterprise blockchain adoption. There are quite a few enterprises that have already adopted blockchain tech. So, looking forward to that. And of course, blockchain in e-commerce and healthcare sector, we have already seen top e-commerce players already adopt blockchain in quite a few arenas or sectors. So hopeful about that. And lastly, AI enabled blockchain and how generative AI sort of ties in with blockchains. I think Gen AI was a big trend last year and got a lot of criticism, was embraced by quite a few players. But how that will take off, that narrative will take off this year, is something that I'm interested in.
For sure. Super exciting to see how 2024 evolves. And yeah, just to wrap up this event, Andres, you previously said that you are 8 years, correct me if I'm wrong, in the crypto industry. So now, as we are like bullish for 2024, we are expecting new people joining the crypto space. From your understanding and from your learnings, how would you suggest a new user to be prepared for the crypto industry in 2024?
Wow. Yeah, that's a good question, Sam. Look, 8 years in the making, it hasn't been easy. So I think so that was the first thing that people need to understand, that this is not an industry just to get rich quick or something like that. That's a misconception. This is a whole technology advancement, and it's basically breaking a narrative of hundreds and centuries of years about how money works. So I will advise to everybody that's watching this or everybody that's new into crypto, they need to be ready to spend a lot of times, hours learning, researching. Start with the simple thing. I will say go into the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto and go back to basics. Read it. I understand the philosophy behind that before understanding the technology. Um, I will I will suggest a couple of books I like that I read when I started. One is called Digital Gold by Nathaniel Popper, the untold story of Bitcoin, that told the story behind crypto, not from the technological part, if not the storytelling when Satoshi Nakamoto started the whole thing, right? And then you can start with more fundamentals about blockchain with Tom Dasko. There's a lot of information out there. So I will start with books and with that white paper, because if you went to YouTube and start to just scroll, you will get lost. Okay. But something that, look, when I start, there was no Binance. There was no Binance Academy. There was nothing like that. When I started, I had to do my own research. So, but now we have Binance. Binance Academy is good. And that's why we're here as well. We have now Binance Square and Binance Live. So Binance been selecting on Binance Square the best content creators, not because they are the best looking, or probably they're good looking as well. No, because they create good content. It's not about engagement or metrics or number of followers. It's not, because the people that are here nominated, they've been creating good content for 14 months. And they've been doing this without expecting anything in return, because there is no monetization here. It's only the communitization, I would call it that, community building. So that would be my advice. Start with 3 books, keep it simple, then follow a couple of people here on Binance Square. There's different content creator for different audience. Some people talk about technical analysis very deep. Some people like to talk about what is happening in the industry with the news. So I will keep it simple again, Sam. For me, keep it simple and just work a lot through it. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Andres. Baroni, actually, we are curious about how many years are you in the industry?
4 years now,
4 years.
precisely. Yes. And when I came in the industry, like Andres said, there weren't a lot of resources. I'm sure there were even few when he stepped in, but even when I did, there wasn't a lot that we could look forward to. But I think one big thing, one thing that really stands out about Web3 is the tightly knit communities. You have to find your kind of community, your kind of content creators, and what you're interested in. Not everyone is built to understand the technicalities, or those technical terms that go behind blockchain or the tech. But as long as you know the basics and you have understood what you're investing it, what you're dabbling with, I think that is something that's really important. And DYOR is something that I am a big proponent of. So do your own research. Of course, there are now resources like Binance Academy that are not just reliable but also on point, very simple to understand. And there are tons of content creators. Then again, don't get lost in the wave of content creation, because a lot of that is also for the sake of making money. So always understand what sort of content creators to follow, and how not to get scammed or hacked. It's really easy to get tagged. This is a time when the industry is booming, and every time there are opportunities to make a lot of money, there are also players who might sort of scam you, or there are more scams or hacks in a space. So I think watch out for that. Always maybe verify your sources. Always make sure that whatever you're reading, whatever you're consuming, the kind of content that you are sort of consuming is coming from legit authorities like maybe Binance. So I think that is my word of advice. And of course, this year there's going to be a lot of new content creators in this space. So big, I think a big shout out to those. And this is a space where you can get overwhelmed really easily. When I stepped in, I was not even in my 20s, and I was still rather confused about how to navigate my way. There's so many assets, where to invest, whom to listen to. But I think as soon as you find the right kind of crowd or community for you, just stick around. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask questions. I think it gets so overwhelming sometimes that we forget to ask the right kind of questions. But this, as a space, I mean, I don't think there's any other space where, let's say, founders or CEOs of projects are do as many AMAs or are willing to answer questions of their communities or users. So I think it's a great space to be asking questions, and they will most likely always be answered. So go ahead and ask the right questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Baroni, for your insights. And yeah, lastly, Lokman, how
Yeah,
many years are you
first,
in the
yeah,
industry?
we can 4 or 5 years I've been I
Okay.
started trading, but yeah, Andres and Varuni both explained it very well. So yeah, I should say understanding the basics, reading up is very important, like Andres said. Maybe follow along Binance Academy, get some trustworthy news sources, and don't trust anyone you see on the internet. Like Varuni said, like I'm sure all of us here have been like at least close to being scammed many times. Like if you're in this industry for years, then it must have happened. So yeah, never trust anyone. You can't even trust people you've met in real life. So you should be extra cautious. And I should lastly add, maybe keep an eye out on some emerging technologies. Don't be an expert on all fields, but try to focus on one and be extremely knowledgeable on that side, so you can actually do something with it. Like in one field you should know more than other regular users, so you should pick something that you like and read up on it.
Yeah, completely agreed on that. Actually, there's nothing I can add, to be honest. I mean, for those new users or for those beginners that are like watching us today, please, if it is needed, hear these advices again, because the best way to learn, I mean, these people is trying to avoid you to make the same mistakes that they did in the past. Okay, so please, if you can avoid those, for sure your experience within the crypto journey is going to be much better. So yeah, then that being said, it's time to farewell our guests today. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Andres. Thank you, Baroni. Thank you, Lokman. Happy to have you today here, and hopefully we'll have you again here anytime soon.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you,
Thank you.
Binance. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
And now, just to wrap up, let me share again my screen. I just want to remember you. We have the Binance Square Creator Awards live. So by voting your favorite Square creator, by sharing this content in your social media, and just watching the live stream as you are doing right now, but you can share with your friend to he can do it as well. You can be eligible to share up to 10,000 USDT trading voucher. So yeah, the campaign is going to be active until 14th January at 23:59 UTC. So you still have time to participate. And yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, have a nice one. See you soon. Bye bye.